everyone! In this video, we are going to walk through the TripleseatDirect form. Now that we have configured our TripleseatDirect settings and built out our menus, it's time to make the information available to our guests. We will cover how to create a TripleseatDirect form and what the live form looks like. This form is similar to the standard TripleSeat lead form, where guests will provide a date, time, and guest count. With a TripleseatDirect form, our guests can give us even more detail, such as choosing their menu and room. We can add this form to multiple places, such as our primary website, social media accounts, and include it in our email blasts or other marketing campaigns, which will lead to more business we can instantly capture. My team is alerted to the TripleseatDirect request and has the power to accept or reject it. To create a new TripleseatDirect form, I'll go to Settings and click on TripleseatDirect Forms. I can either edit an existing form or add a new form at the top right. First, I will name this form. Next, I can check off the allowed event styles. I will only accept on-premise for this specific form. I can indicate which location should be available through this form on the right. If this form will only be available for some rooms within my venue, I can click on the plus sign next to the location name and uncheck individual rooms. I'll now click Save and be redirected to a new page to continue customizing my form. By default, TripleseatDirect forms will automatically include the logo and banner image from our location settings. I can override the branding on this specific form if desired here, along with selecting a font style. Next, I can select the fields that are required for my guests to fill out. Then I will check off the menus that will be selectable on this form. If adding more than one, I can reorganize the order of how the selected menus will appear. Next is where I'll select which documents are automatically shared with my guest once this TripleseatDirect request is approved. Under Form Minimums, I can set the guest count requirement. I've already set up F&B minimum spends in advanced location settings, and I want to use those amounts, so I will leave this blank or set it at 0. This means the guest must agree to the minimum, but is not required to fulfill the amount to complete an inquiry. To override the F&B minimum from advanced location settings, enter an amount in the text box. If an amount is entered here, the guest must meet this minimum when making menu selections. It is important to note that the minimum spends are per event style, and these minimums are calculated before any taxes or fees are applied. Next, I have the option to include a gratuity selector. This allows the guest to select their gratuity amount before submitting the inquiry. In the next section, I can customize the rest of the verbiage on the form, such as the header text, payment, order disclaimers, and terms and conditions. The terms and conditions will populate before our guest enters their payment information. I can also set an expiration, which is set in hours. I want to be sure to enter a number here, as the inquiry will auto-reject if our team is unable to respond in a timely manner. This ensures that our guests are not left wondering if they're having an event with us. Finally, I can adjust the verbiage when the form is inactive. Some forms created will require special availability, lead times, and event duration. By default, the dates, times, and duration available will be pulled from Settings, TripleseatDirect, Configuration. Once a TripleseatDirect request has been submitted, the guest will receive an automatic email. They will also receive an automatic email once the booking is accepted or rejected. Here, I can adjust those emails. At the bottom, I will check off which users on my team should receive a notification when a guest submits a TripleseatDirect inquiry. Any new form that I create will automatically be set to active. This form will only be active for a season, so once I'm done taking orders with it, I will come back to edit the form and toggle it to be deactivated. That way, I can keep the form's historical data and reactivate it again for next year. Since I want my guests to be able to access this form now, I will keep it active. Once a TripleseatDirect form has been created, I can post it in a few different ways. To get the form on my website, I will click Setup Codes to the right of the form that was created and share these with my web developer. I can add in their email address here or copy and paste the links. To add a link to this form to our social media profile or in an email blast, I can click View Live Page to the right of the form. This opens up a new tab with a live version of the TripleseatDirect form, and I can copy and paste this URL anywhere on the internet. I can use the View Live Page button so I'm able to preview what the form will look like on my guest's end. If multiple event styles or locations are available on the form, there will be an option to select. Since this form is only for one event style and location, the first step for my guest is to choose an area for this event. Since I've set up images in my event up settings, those room images will pull to the form. They can enter their guest count, select which date they're interested in, as well as a start time. On the next screen, they will see the active menu. They can browse the menu and select items. Once they select an item, they're going to be prompted to add a quantity for that menu item, and if applicable, they'll be able to select modifiers. As the guest is working through selecting their items, a summary box populates to the right of the page with the total charges, as well as a disclaimer about additional fees. When the guest clicks Next, they'll be able to enter their personal information. Clicking Add Payment will allow them to acknowledge our terms and conditions. Next, the guest will authorize their card for payment. Once the request has been submitted, guests are sent an automatic email, and now it's arrived in TripleSeat as a new TripleseatDirect event for my team to manage. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about TripleSeatDirect forms, please reach out to our support team, support@tripleseat.com, or by clicking the Help Questions button on the top right corner of any page in TripleSeat.